Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. My name is Chris MIA. Christoph, really. And uh, due to popular demand from all my students, hey, do you play Friday Night at Freddy's? Do you play Baldi's Basic? If you played it, you should play it. Here I am. Here we are. And here I will be playing Baldi's Basics and seeing just how difficult it is. And keep in mind, like on my channel, we go over trigonometry, we go over all kinds of mathematics from 5th grade up to 12th grade to college, SAT prep, all kinds of stuff. So if you do want to learn entertainingly, that that's a verb. Um, if you want to enjoy a video, drop in, ask questions. That's important. I do have office hours every Sunday where and sometimes I'll drop in with a game, um and you want to ask some questions, you have some math problems, drop them in. I will definitely do them on live, right? But here we are, Baldis Basics. This is what we're doing today. I felt like it's probably time to give something back. I mean, not that I'm not giving enough information as it is, but Baldi's Basics, guys. So for those that don't know, Baldi's Basics is a game, a math game, which I do like. I do like the fact that, and Blookit is a very good tool for educators, mind you. Very good tool for those that use gamification to help students learn. And it's no different than like doing the problems one-to-one with a student, but that layer of playing a game and getting through certain um getting certain points, getting to a certain level, fighting each other, that kind of stuff actually makes things fun. And honestly, it is pretty fun. I have a lot of fun with my students playing Blookit, learning all kinds of stuff. So we got to start using the tools that we can help students learn and not, well, bore them to death. That's number one. And Blookit, I mean, Baldi's Basics is one of those games where it's not just math. It's supposed to be horror. I do like scary games. Not alone, though. But I do like to play scary games. I like to play horror games, tense situations, um, getting the jump scares going. So let's see how Baldi's actually, stacks up to other games that are actually like Friday Nights at Freddy's, right? So let's start with what we have here. So there's my Steam ready to go. All my little raindrops in the background, flooding the screen with my JavaScript script. And do know that we do math here, right? We do math here. We do math here, my baby boy. We do math here. We do math here, and we do programming, and we eat. Did you just eat? Did you just eat some food? I think he just ate some food. This is Shadow, and for those that don't know my cat yet, he drops in once in a while. So we do math. I mean anything, any mathematics. I've taught for 15, going on 20 years. I lost count. Call it somewhere average in the middle. Teaching students from. I started teaching in the college and university environment, but then I started doing my own thing on the side and started teaching students of all ages. And I found a lot of different ways to help students overcome teaching impediments, teaching speed bumps. You are see-through. Hide me. Hide me. I can't see me because you're so dark. Indeed, you are a shadow. So, look at this guy. Look at this guy. He can't because the thing can't because he's so dark. There he is. What's up? What are you up to? What are you up to? Just chilling? Are you just chilling? Yeah, you're just chilling. So I've learned a whole bunch of different ways to teach younger students, and it does come with the new technology of gamification, honestly. it has made such a big difference. Hello, now he's behind me. It's made such a big difference to be able to play with students games that will keep their attention, right? We've got a big society of um what's the word we're looking for here? Instant gratification, right? We've got a huge society of wanting to get something out of everything. 15-second video, get a laugh, a boost of dopamine. 15-second video, get another boost of different dopamine. We've got this, and it is what it is. I can't help it. I wish we didn't get into such a level where reading a book for 30 minutes is an impossible task for a lot of students. I've heard that a lot of the new generations are having trouble with reading on their grade level because why? Because based on their wording, why read when the AI can read for me? And I do have a lot of students that use AI for these sort of justifications all over the place, and it's sad to see that we're outsourcing our brain. So this channel, I'm hoping, helps connect you back to your brain, helps you build more wrinkles in that noggin. Whether it's me playing games, whether it's me teaching random stuff about trig, whether it's calculus, whether it's algebra. Algebra is going to be the big part. I can go all about algebra. Algebra is amazing, and everyone should really, really focus on that. It's like the grammar of math. You can read all the dictionaries you want, but if you don't know grammar, you're not going to put those words together in a correct way. So, yes, this channel is about brain wrinkles. Welcome, welcome. We are brain wrinkle supporters here. The more the merrier. The more brain wrinkles, the more fun, the more brain. The more brain, the more brain wrinkles, the more something. Like, look, no, look, no, look. No! Why? Oh. Oh, I had it. Okay, what else is there? Field trips. Go on a field trip, practice mini games, and try to set scores. Oh yeah. Collect as many notebooks as you can before it attacks you. Speeds up over time, but notebooks slow him down. Interesting. All right. Well, it's not a lot of math. Some math. Like the As and PEMDAS, basically. That'd be cool if then you can actually pick two numbers. You could do multiplication, you get double digits in there, and then you have to pick the two numbers in order to get the next step. I like the idea. Like this puts you on pressure. It's cute as shit. Maybe I want to make something like this. Oops, I said a word. Maybe I'll make something like this in a little bit more extreme manner. Having a school, having actual math problems, Like actual, like, yeah, 5 plus 4. Ooh, 2 plus 3. Ah, 0 minus 0. Wow. But no, this is like, I think the idea here is because like, you're always under pressure. Which this is a case for me, like when I mm, when I play with students on Blookit and I make them, some of them just want to chill and play and go and like do the cafe, right? The cafe Blookit, just chilling, enjoying a little bit of expansion, selling toast and pudding or whatever, right? Others really get competitive and they want to beat me. It's great. And I always play on a basis of like the students' capabilities. So like I'll be within their point range. Sometimes like for the hacking game, for instance, I won't always hack them. I'll know their password, whenever I first accidentally guess it. But after that, I'll probably not like, it's a little bit of a secret, a teaching secret here. I won't always pick the password that's correct, right? I'll potentially like try another and then let them get through. And then if they hack me a bunch of times, then I'll hack them once and put pressure on them. And then they're just fighting back and forth trying to compete depending on the student. But This technique is actually useful, especially when you can control the outcome in these games, because when you're taking a test in school, same pressure happens. You're under pressure under time specifically to make the problem correct. And basically, like this, you're under pressure by Baldi constantly chasing you to actually do the thinking process in a fight or flight process, right? You want to run, you got to get away. You hear that little ruler in the background, right? And you have a level of pressure that sometimes interferes with you thinking. So like these games are very good to prepare students for tests because in the end, a test is pressure. And I have a lot of students that are really good at the math when they're chilling at home working, and we go through the process together and I see that they're doing great and I give them difficult problems and they solve them great. But they come back from a test with like a C, even though they got A's on everything else that we work together on. And it's always a basis of like this internal ability to maintain focus during pressure, which sometimes a student can do well. Sometimes some people do work well under pressure. Other times people get completely destroyed by pressure and they make small mistakes, they make big mistakes, they don't check themselves, they flip numbers by accident, they got the right answer, but they just put the numbers backwards. There's some stuff like this that can get in the way of a student actually being able to fully use their capabilities in thinking, in thought, in processing information, even under the situation of being completely under pressure on the basis of something going on. Whether it's a competition between you and your tutor, whether it's a competition or like running away from Baldi, these under pressure environments are great to do as a student because the more you do them, the better you become at handling them. And the better you can handle those, even in the gaming environment, the better you are at actual real life pressure environments. It just kind of trains your brain to think clearly even when you're being chased, right? That's why some students, like my little sister, hates games that chase her. She hates games that like that something's chasing her. I get that. I totally get that. But the more you avoid it, the more weaker you are against it. And that's the same basis of pressure, right? When something is on your back, when something is giving you a timeline, when you're thinking about the process of what you have to do in front of you, but then there's a timer in the background or there's a competition or someone following you, and you can't realign your thoughts to the current action in mind. Because in the end, completing the current action fulfills the process of getting or surviving the secondary thing, whether it's a test, whether it's Baldy chasing you, whether it's winning a competition, math competition test with against your tutor. The current action in front of you is a gateway to fulfilling that secondary goal. And when we get stumped by the goal, the pressure of fulfilling that goal, and it hinders our progress for the current action, that's when we break down. That's when we fail. That's when we make small mistakes. That's when a lot of, and this is a very personal case scenario, right? Not everyone's the same, but that's where a lot of students fail. They haven't experienced failure enough in their life. I'm gonna say it. A lot of parents be babying all of y'all until you're 14, 16, 18. They baby you. And you've learned to be coddled and given everything you want and never been given restrictions. And that's given you the mindset of everything will be fine at all times. When reality, go to the forest, go camping. Are you going to be fine if you're not sure what you're doing? You're just going to walk out there unprepared, everything will be fine? No, no. Bears, wolves, make sure you go to a right place. Make sure you don't have steaks hanging outside in the middle of a forest because you could attract animals that like to eat steak, like wolves and bears. So there's a lot of real life that basically is a lot less soft from the way that a lot of kids have been growing the last few years. And then it started with like, you know, everyone gets a medal for participating. You get a medal for participating. You get a medal for being here. Congratulations, everyone gets a medal. But in reality, no one, everyone doesn't win. In reality, In a village of 10 people in the middle of the woods surviving, someone's going to die from something, whether it's disease, whether it's an attack from an animal in the woods, something's going to happen, right? This is reality we're talking about. Reality doesn't care whether you're a good person or a bad person. Reality cares whether you're prepared or not prepared. That's it. Whether you're prepared for what's about to happen or you're not prepared for what's about to happen. And because everyone gets coddled and given all of the basics for free, and they don't understand what pressure is, they're not prepared to handle the pressure, and a lot of people, a lot of students, a lot of new generations just are not able to think under these strenuous situations. So I do recommend get over the fear. Play Baldis. It's not crazy math, but it is under the basis of stress and might mess you up. The more you do it, I don't think I messed up a problem because this is like super basic math. But for some students, it might impede on their process to think about 4 plus 5 is 9, and that might accidentally answer 10 or 8, right? Um, Play um, Friday Night at Freddy's. Under that pressure, can you survive that situation? It's not a math game, obviously, but it's still one of those games that you're being chased. You have to maintain clear thought, order of what you have to do in the process of surviving. And the goal of surviving is impeded by all of these things chasing you, and you having to respond in a algorithmic way to survive that. Um, that's why I like horror games, because the scariness of it puts that enough pressure on you. And I honestly, I feel like my whole life is basically surviving under pressure, so I'm very much used to it. But the aspect of clear thought and seeing how much that clarity and thinking will actually help you to your goals. And you start realizing, wait, if I keep getting pressured and juked out and messed up during the process, I'm never going to beat this game. So then you try harder. You try to focus. You can hear Baldi's little ruler in the background, and you're still focusing. You're like, nope, focus here, focus here, focus here. What's the problem I have to do? Where do I go now? I can hear him in the background, but that's fine. That's actually a good case too, because audio is a very huge stimulus for most people, auditory stimulus. Um, when I teach students, I teach them under the basis of three concepts: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. We always approach it with visual. I have a whiteboard. We write down all our details. And if that doesn't work, I go into detail on the auditory. I explain it through a type of interactive back and forth, not only for me to speak, but for them to speak it out at me. Because sometimes we have to say something out loud in order to register what we actually just said. So I make sure not only am I saying the thing that has to be understood, but the student also repeats that same thing that's supposed to be understood. Then I ask them questions. Then I have to answer those questions. And if that doesn't work, then in the end, it's all about practice. Get a pen, paper, and we start writing it on paper and start working the problems out kinesthetically. And for most cases, this is like the fidget spinner world, right? For anyone that's like kinesthetic, you have a little fidget spin. Why is it black? Yeah, there we go. You got a little fidget spinner and you're trying to move, have motion in your existence because that's what's keeping you distracted. So you have a fidget spinner or something that you're moving around with and messing with, a comb or something, moving it around in your hand or something like this, and you're spinning it. I have that. So you can tell I already have like a crap ton of random stuff prepared for me in order to like keep myself under the kinesthetic control. But in the end, it's all about that. Do you have the tools you need to focus? Are you self-aware of yourself? And can you survive under pressure? And more practice means you can. Less practice
Thanks
means
for
you're
playing. Come back soon.
nice, thanks. Uh, More practice means you can, less practice means you're going to be dominated by pressure. And it's a great thing to try and do as much as you can to train yourself for those cases where everything's not going to be fine. Because we all live in a society where everything's okay. Yeah, for now. But, in your own life, there's going to be many situations where not everything's going to be fine, and you got to figure out how to make it fine. As you grow, those are the decisions you start to make more and more and more. So being ready young to make those decisions will help you understand how to make them in the future. But never being given that option to make a decision in your life and being given everything to you on a golden platter, you're not used to making those decisions. Someone's always making those decisions for you, which basically ruins your own ability and your own strength in thinking. And you just give someone else the wheel. And we can go on a whole different route of why someone would want to compare you on making decisions, why your decisions are hurtful to others. In a way, sometimes depends on what it is, or not hurtful, but impediment. Sometimes our decisions are beneficial to us because that is survival. But if it's beneficial to us, let's say in the commercial world, everything is about consumerism. If we don't have the money to spend and we can only save for food because inflation, right? Who is it hurting? It's hurting the jobs. It's hurting the company because now there's other companies out there wanting you to buy their phone and buy their this and go to this and spend money here, but you can't. So all you do is survive. You do as much as you can to survive. So under that pretense, we're self um self-preservating, right? We're trying to sustain ourselves, but we have to cut off other things in order to sustain. So in the end, we're helping ourselves survive, but potentially impeding on others to survive. And in the full picture of things, if you have self-thought and the ability to make these kind of judgments for yourself, well, you harm the bottom line. And that's all I'll go into because the bigger picture here is going to be a whole conversation about how corporations don't want you to make those decisions and they want you to abide by the consumerism of the world and spend and spend and spend to a point where it's self-detrimental. It's self-destructive. You're spending money you don't have, getting buy now and pay later crap. And oh, anyway, that's a whole subject to be talked about. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe for more of these kind of game slash math slash computer programming. I might make a game like this, to be honest. It's really simple to basically just create a nice, simple little I mean, you can't even look up and down. This really does reminds me of like the XP wallpaper of a maze where you're just making left and right turns and moving around and pretty interesting. I like it a lot. Um, would be pretty easy to make in Godot, probably. But if I make it, it's going to be some harder math problems. You best believe, because these are these are simple, very simple. So maybe I'll make Christoph's basics, and then Christoph's advanced, and then Christoph's college. If you like that idea, leave a comment, show your support. If you like these videos, do definitely tune in more in the future for mathematics, programming, all of these kind of brain wrinkling activities that I try to provide for all my viewers. We are in the middle of a lot of slop. We're in a slop fest. There's a bunch of brain rot that you can watch all day, every day. But if you've made it this far and you do appreciate these kind of videos, show your support. I'm trying to make as most as I can from these videos. Um, they're not in any way helping me survive my own uh, aspects of life. So potentially in the future, if they do, it would be because you guys supported me to that point. And then I'll be able to really dedicate more time to more brain wrinkling activities. For now, though, I do this as much as I can, sometimes on a weekend, sometimes here and there, but mostly here. And hoping that you guys do enjoy these videos, get something out of it. You not only are entertained, you are informed, you are educated, and yeah, like subscribe, put the notification up. Look out for the office hour titles. Those are the ones that I'm going to be very much interactive with the community. Anything with office hours in it is going to be directly like literally you guys walking into my office and asking me questions on live, right? So do feel free to ask questions, anything that has, has you stumped, confused, whether it's math, whether it's programming, and I'll go into detail, right? That's kind of the whole idea is I'm trying to have these office hours on a Sunday. I do get a cool like three, four, five of you coming through. This is great on a regular basis. But it'd be great to have a whole community and plenty of questions to go around. And then we can jump from subject to subject and really get into the nitty-gritty of thought and of wrinkling those brain cells of yours. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the little background back there, right? The little raindrops happening. Where's my thing? I can't. Oh, right here, right here. The little raindrops over here. You see those raindrops? That's what's JavaScript. So look at there. Look at them raindrops moving. So calming. I like circles. Do you like circles? I like circles. But I must say, hexagons are the bestagons. So thanks for joining once more. If you made it this far, love you, appreciate you. Thanks for supporting me um, with your attention, because that's it. Like the things you want to survive for the future, that's not going to be slop. It's going to be based on where we put our attention to. In the end, it used to be where we put our money to, but nowadays even the corporations got control over the money flow. So now it's all about fighting for people's attention. So if you do enjoy it and you give your attention to this video, to this short, to whatever is going to happen from this accumulation of content that I will post in the future, I appreciate you for taking that time and lending me your attention for that moment. But do like and subscribe for more. Leave questions in any of my videos, and I will reply and answer on potentially live streams on my office hours. If you have any questions you want me to work on and help you with, right? Math, everything like that, right? Um, ah, we need a real talk. We need to change the direction of humanity a little bit. Uh, we need to get to a point where our attention. I mean, we have better control over where we dedicate our attention, right? We need to be productive. We can't rot our brains. It concerns me sometimes to see some students really under the influence of like shorts and TikToks to a point where they can't have a full, actual, educated experience with our tutoring session because every 2, 3, 4 minutes they're talking 6, 7s and they're talking dum-dum-dums and memes that they see on TikTok, and it just infiltrates their brain like a mind virus. So if there was a wish that I could do right now in the overall end of things, it's it's to change the direction of those that have been infected by the mind virus that is shorts and dopamine bursts from these video types, to influence and say, hey, you've been affected. We need to turn that around. Do your best and I will help. PewDiePie had a same video like this too. In fact, you know what? We're not done yet. We're not done yet. He has a very good point. We're gonna react to this because it has to be said. I make videos. I love Pewdie though. Pewdie's the bomb, man. This.
Okay, hold still. Hold still. What? Attention's dropping. Attention's shot. Oh no. Oh
Here it
no.
is.
You got algo brain. Hit him with a Reddit story with Minecraft parkour in the background. Is that helping? Still? Hit him with one of those crafting videos where you just go, hey, what the heck are they doing over there? Still dropping! My God! You're worse than I thought. 5 TikTok instances. Auto-scrolling. 3 audiobooks playing at the same time. And 7 memes. Feet-related memes. Oh, okay, now I have your attention. Okay. We found your baseline. Thank you. Hello. Now that I have your attention, I can finally give you the cure. Your brain has gotten messed up from the algorithm in ways you don't even understand. I know, because I used to be the same. But I managed to escape the algorithm. Touch my computer. That's right. You may touch that. Disgusting. Ah! And I get it. Who cares? Another one of those, hey, I quit the internet. Look at me. What's interesting about this isn't that it happened, it's that it happened by mistake. I didn't mean to do it. It just sort of did. And you know what that means? That means there's a cheat code There's an easy way out, and I will share this cheat code with you. Not so fast. Always instant gratification, huh? You gotta wait. Hit him with more feet. No, I'm just kidding. We all have algo brain, and to certain degrees, it's okay. I call it algo brain, but in reality, it's just that I think being online messes with your head. I think it's just a price that we have all come to accept. But I say no more. No more. Because we all know the internet is bad for you, but then why are we here? Just to suffer? Why are we? I'm standing here, stress levels down. Are we stressing? Do I look like I'm stressing right now? What are we stressing about? Huh? What's so goddamn important? My brain synapses are firing again. All three of them. I feel like
All three
right now, not to exaggerate or anything. I am memeing, but I feel like I have something to share for once, okay? And I will yap, just so we're clear. But I have the cheat code. I have the cheat code. It's a TPD. I didn't know how to hit you. I'm sorry. To get to the cure, we have to understand the disease. So what's the problem then? I think the problem lies with our limitation in our brain, or should I say, not limitation. I read a book about our brain one time. I learned that there are certain
one time.
elements to your brain that is just hard-coded, okay? There's just no way to get around it. But there are also elements that can be trained, like your attention span. And because of that, that also means it can degrade. And because tech companies, these goddamn tech companies,
There it is, man.
their metric of success is how much attention they can suck out of you. And that means it's a race to the bottom. That's why clicking a YouTube video is like getting a shot at it in a shotgun. Point blank range. Like, bro.
Yeah, so I don't want to take the content that he created, so I'll leave the link in the description. But PewDiePie's got the biggest point ever, and it really does come back to that attention aspect, right? Your attention is worth money to somebody. And those that are willing to suck out every single drop of your attention, they're not there to give you incentives back. They're not giving you anything in return. They're giving you slop, and they're getting advertising revenue for it, right? So while it used to be a time in our lives where we would be consumers that would support corporations or products or things worthwhile, and we had this sort of implied voting power with where we put our money. If you look at this whole new world we live in, which has been developing for the last 10 years, consumerism is kind of dead. We don't have a say anymore with our money, because if we don't buy a computer or whatever technology X, Y, and Z, well, it turns out the corporations are just going to buy it from each other, and they're circulating their own cash. And that, in a much more complex manner, has a whole different web of consumerism between themselves, supporting an economy on their own without, pure, clean capitalism taking part. And the capitalism that I'm talking about is you want to exchange a chicken for fish, something simple, right? You get a benefit of expanding your diet, and you also give a benefit of someone else expanding their diet by switching proteins, right? Eggs and all these kind of basic things we used to exchange with each other. But now that capitalism is dead because governments and because all of these incentives exist to push and take and give to these higher level corporations, giving them complete power. An oligarchy, technology? I don't know. Basically just not good. And what we would think that we would have in the past of, hey, I don't like this, so I'm not going to buy it because I don't support this company, now it doesn't matter anymore. It's all about the attention we give. And if we want to improve things we're going through right now on the internet level, we need to start giving our attention to those things that benefit us, each other, ourselves, growth, productivity, entertainment, support for those. And I'm not saying it on the basis of like, hey guys, support me because I'm a little dude over here. I'm not even talking about myself. Support real creators that want to give back to you and the community. Anyone. It doesn't have to be me, but that's kind of why I exist on the internet myself. It's to give back. I teach all the time. I teach a one-to-one session for an hour. It's only a dream for me to affect hundreds of people for that same hour. So having these sessions for an hour, on my office hours is way more self-gratifying because it's not like I'm just giving 1 hour to one student, I'm giving an hour to hundreds of people online. And as a true teacher, that's kind of your goal. It's not to make money, it's to expand thought. And in the world where we're so connected, you almost feel like that would be a second nature by now, that we would be constantly improving and growing, and educators would pop up out of everywhere and give from themselves information and experiences to the new generations forward. And then slop became a thing, and brain rot, and dopamine hits from all of these 15-second videos of wild colors and AI generated visual appeal that really do nothing but just stimulate a couple of dopamine receptors a few times here and there. Oh, I think I've babbled enough, but I'll leave the video. And this is a worthwhile video to watch if you haven't already. I respect PewDiePie. I used to watch him way young when he was still fighting barrels, when he hated those barrels everywhere, back in Amnesia. But he's just hitting it on the nail, man. And he knows it because he's been in there too, and I've been in there too. I've had many times to get off of Snapchats and WhatsApps and all of these things that like literally would affect my emotions when I'm looking at the notifications just by seeing who or what replied or what was said and what drama was going around and what chat system and what guild I was in and what game and all kinds of bullcrap. I felt all kinds of emotions just from a fucking phone, right? And it really shouldn't be like that because it's a phone. You shouldn't have your well-being attached to a device and other people especially. But when those other people can easily message you and contact you and you see notifications and everyone's posting all the great parts of their life on Instagram without actually providing the struggles they go through at the same time, we have a skewed perception of reality that everything's always perfect and how come it's so great for them but not for me? And then we go through these sort of cycles of trying to find the next product that's going to make us do or look or be like that other person that has such a successful life. And cue social corrupted capitalism, where lies are the main selling point and our well-being is the degrading our well-being is being degraded by those that do not tell us the full truth, just so they can sell a product to us. It's just the snake oil everywhere. There's snake oil everywhere. So, as always, I do like to drop in some deep thoughts here and there. Um, if you made it this far, you're one of my peeps. You understand. If you made it through the rants, I respect that. And this old soul is tired, guys. This old soul is tired of seeing it's not just even this generation. History. You know, I've read a lot of history and it just seems it keeps going down for hundreds of years. We keep going down this hole every single time, repeating the same mistakes and going through the same chaos every 100 years or so. And this old soul is tired. Let's try and get out of this loop and make a better future, at least for the next generations, if we can't do it for the current growing generations. But I try to do my best to help those that are willing to break free. Yep, welcome. Thanks for joining. Talk to you later. Appreciate the talk and appreciate you listening to an old soul rant. Till next time, stay true, stay real.